From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Friday, December 29th. There's a bit of a rain-snow mix still moving out of the state this morning. A little chilly. We're at around 34 degrees. That temperature, though, is going to keep us to mostly rain, spotty showers for the rest of the day. No downpours by any means, but it will be a little bit cold.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Leading Republican candidate for president Donald Trump is now barred from Maine's primary ballot. The Secretary of State removed the former president under the Constitution's insurrection clause, marking the first elected official to single-handedly take action. The decision follows a ruling earlier this month by the Colorado Supreme Court to take Trump off the ballot. Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows says Trump is not eligible for office because of his role in the January 6th riots. Here's how the former mayor of Portland, Maine, is responding.
This ruling is a very strong ruling, and so we hope that this will be upheld and that his name will not be placed on the Maine ballot. If it goes up the line and gets to the Supreme Court, hopefully they will rule very quickly.
The Trump campaign says it will appeal that decision. Bellows has suspended her ruling until that appeal is heard. It is likely, though, that the U.S. Supreme Court will have the final say on whether Trump appears on the ballot in Maine and in other states. New on Daybreak, IMPD says the body of a female has been found on top of the Slippery Noodle in downtown Indianapolis. According to a Facebook post made by the bar, they received a call that someone on a passing train noticed a person sleeping on the roof. They were then able to figure out that there was someone up there but couldn't access the area and called police. The restaurant says police got to the roof and found the person dead. Police say the female is white with brown hair and brown eyes, but they haven't said anything else about who she is. Turning now to ITMate, police have identified two teenagers that were arrested after walking into Castleton Square Mall with guns and ski masks. Police say Zachary Hunter and Octavius Reed went into the mall with Glock handguns and machine gun conversion devices. Police say the growing number of similar cases is cause for the community to be concerned.
Unfortunately, that device has fallen into the wrong hands multiple times on too many occasions. That is concerning because how do you combat that? How do you keep a community safe when they're purchasing these devices for reckless intentions?
After one case in 2020, there were 10 in 2021, 47 last year, and so far in 2023, 110. Staying with ITMate, IMPD has released video touting the department's accomplishments for this year. ITMate senior investigative reporter Richard Essex sat down with police to talk about it.
The video starts with a look at crime, specifically criminal homicides. According to the department, the numbers are down almost 18%, just 2 years after a record 249 murders.
I don't think we can speculate as to the reasons why that number is down significantly in one way or another. What we can say is that the things and the efforts that IMPD is doing and working with our community, it's working. Ultimately, it's our community saying that enough is enough.
According to the department, non-fatal shootings, violent crime, and robberies are down. However, 2023 brought in a wave of youth violence.
How's the department addressing youth violence?
I believe that the continued education to our community about choosing other options to resolve conflict is a top priority. Just making sure that our community knows that there's other resources available. Learning how to de-escalate a situation without resulting to violence, that's really what we have to highlight.
Officer recruiting and retention was an issue during the mayor's race. The department expanded recruitment to out of state, stepped up on-campus recruiting, and released a recruitment video. This on top of sizable raises, but have the efforts been successful?
Recruiting's been an issue for the department.
Once people understand that being an officer is a notable career, I think people begin to desire to make a difference and make a change. Ultimately, it's on the community to see the benefit in becoming a police officer.
According to the video and data from the department, the Indiana Crime Gun Task Force has taken 369 guns off the street, arrested 266 people, and sent ballistic data for 4,047 guns to the ATF. What is not addressed in the video is the spike in police shootings. The department says that violent crime has been trending down for the past year, but the department is at a crossroads. As we go into the new year, the department is also looking for a new chief of police. In downtown Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, iTeam 8.
This New Year's Eve weekend, police stressed to celebrate responsibly. After issues of gunfire last year, IMPD is urging people to choose safer options. News 8's Amisha Ramsey has the safety message from police.
IMPD says Indianapolis saw celebratory gunfire on New Year's Eve, risking lives, and now they're calling on people to put the guns down and behave responsibly to help keep people safe. IMPD says celebrating firearms recklessly is unacceptable and could lead to arrest. Now, it's not rocket science. When someone shoots a gun in the air, what goes up must come down, posing serious risk of injury or death. In addition to celebratory gunfire, intentional shots are a concern, and IMPD's message remains consistent.
The message is very clear that we want folks to have a good time on New Year's. However, firing firearms recklessly is certainly unacceptable. You can be arrested for it. It's led to where we've seen young children or teenagers be injured due to gunfire.
Drinking and driving is another issue that police continue to warn against. IMPD warns that firing a gun in the air is a felony. I'm Amisha Ramsey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and like us on Facebook.
Your statewide news network covers Evansville, where the city's mayor-elect will make history. Stephanie Terry will become the first woman and the first black mayor of Evansville. The Democratic candidate won 48% of the vote in a three-way race. Terry says she's humbled by her historic win.
We have a tagline here in our community that E is for everyone. And this is really, I think, a testament to that. And I want to celebrate the fact that our region and our city has made that tremendous progress, that we're growing as a community.
She says that affordable housing, public safety, and code enforcement will be at the top of her priority list when she's sworn in on January 1st. We're counting down the days until the solar eclipse this April. Today marks 101 days until the cosmic event. City leaders are getting ready for thousands of people to be here in Indiana celebrating. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez went to the White River State Park, one of the many viewing areas, and spoke with city organizers.
Among travel websites like Airbnb, Indy is already ranking among one of the most searched for 2024, namely because of that solar eclipse. Right now, to talk a little bit more about it is Claire from Visit Indy. Good morning. Thanks for being on here once again. Thanks for braving the cold. We're at White River State Park. Tell us one of the many events happening. This one's free. Tell us what people can expect here come April.
Yes, of course. White River State Park is 250 acres. It is the nation's largest urban park. So we are excited to welcome visitors coming in from all around the nation here for a free event called Lunacy. It'll be decked out throughout the whole park. There will be food trucks along the old Washington Street Bridge. We'll have yoga classes, live music, and so much more.
How cool has it been, kind of working from the tourism side to, activate all of these things along the canal, along the river, or just in Indy in general?
Yeah, all of our partners are really rallying together to create day-long activations, weekend-long activations leading up to April 8th. So we are so excited. Indy lucked out being in the center of the path of totality. We'll have nearly 4 minutes of darkness. So it'll start at 3:06 to 3:10 p.m. And we're just excited to experience this phenomenon with Hoosiers and also people traveling in from across the Midwest.
We mentioned it last hour, but again, how cool is it to kind of team up with NASA and be one of 3 locations across the country to team up with NASA?
Yeah, NASA will have hundreds of people coming in that are, work for NASA, astronauts coming into the Circle City. Obviously, the Motor Speedway will be their main headquarters, but we're just excited to be in partnership with them for this event that will truly happen in Indianapolis in a lifetime.
Great. Well, thanks for being on this morning, and thanks for braving the cold. I know I already thank you for that, but it's really cold this morning out by the river, so I just want to make sure we get that in there. The weekend, all of the celebrations start on April 5th. That's that Friday, and then the big day, the solar eclipse, is Monday, April 8th. Reporting downtown, I'm Hernan Gutierrez for Wish TV, wishtv.com. and like us on Facebook.
In Pacers Watch, the team scores a win against the Chicago Bulls, and one player makes history in the process. Star point guard Tyrese Halliburton is now one of 2 players in the NBA since 1985 to get 20-plus points in a game with 20 assists and no turnovers. Chris Paul is the only other player to do that. The team shared a video on social media of Halliburton's historic game celebration. Team beat the Bulls in Chicago 120-104. The Pacers will be back home on Saturday night as they face the New York Knicks. In Colts Watch, the team is kicking the stigma and donating $650,000 to mental health programs. During Sunday's game against the Raiders, the team will officially give the money to One Mind, a research and development nonprofit. That's this year's Kicking the Stigma game and will highlight mental health resources and professionals. Team created the initiative in 2020 to raise awareness about mental health. Mortgage rates have fallen to the lowest since May. The average for a 30-year fixed loan was 6.61%, down from 6.67% last week, according to Freddie Mac. Investopedia also says the cheapest mortgage it could find in Indiana was 7%. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and like us on Facebook.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.